know what time it is.
Welcome to I'm from the Zoo.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What's up, TJ Duckett? How you doing, my brother?
He does. What's going on, baby?
It's good, man. It's good to hear from you, man.
Good. Yes, sir. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it has. What about you, Elove? Elove over there. You get a chance to meet TJ Duckett today, huh?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, E? Can you hear me? Breaking up a little bit.
You do big things in that field out there.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, TJ definitely always do big things on the field. Just as you've done big things, you know, recently I've seen both of you all over the place. Elove, I've seen you with the congratulations right off the bat with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and also with the PE logo. As you see right here, I'm being festive. I got my Michigan State Go Spartans on.
I love it.
You got the hat on. I got the chain on. You know, most respect. And I don't want to keep talking very much, but I wanted to give both of you flowers. TJ, I'm so happy you're here, ladies and gentlemen. TJ's father was my coach in high school in track and field, and then TJ's brother Tico Duckett was awesome, and so I've been able to have the pleasure to know TJ pretty much all of his life. And so TJ, excuse me, Brown, without further ado, let us know, man, are you the greatest running back from Kalamazoo?
Of course. I mean, what you mean? Go check the film. No, man. Hey, there was a bunch. There was a bunch of us, man. I just happened to follow in a lot of the footsteps that I saw, and the people ahead of me wanted to be great. I mean, that was the norm. It wasn't an accident. They wanted to be the best, and I was able to see the work ethic. I was able to see what they did on a regular, and I'm just happy to be able to add my name to the list of just great professional athletes in general that have came up out of Kalamazoo. Yeah. Right.
And while we're also at it, brother Elove, the one question I wanted is, you know, you are hip hop. You know, I wanted to say that to you. You are hip hop. You are what embodied hip hop from the beginning. Your style, what you did, your contributions to everything. When I wanted to ask, and you know, with your Caribbean background, how did you know how to just do it when you started it in hip hop in the beginnings?
Well, you know, I got some points from the late great Jam Master Jay. You know, Jay taught us a lot. Russell showed us a couple things, and at that point in time, nobody else had really did it at that time. So you just watch the guys around you, Hers Blow and Grandmaster Flash Melody. You just watched everybody, then you figure out that you said, I can't copy that person. I got to put my own spin on it. So I'm going to put my spin on it. And Chuck D happened to notice my spin. And now it's the #1 logo in hip hop. Salute.
Salute. So this is amazing. This is amazing. And if it wasn't for that spin and those idiosyncrasies, I believe that God always has a plan for all of us. And we all know that our future is basically shaped by our past. Just to be here right now is just a pleasure and a genuine a thrill. One thing I want to say, TJ, I want to give you some. He was drafted in 2002 by the Atlanta Falcons with the 18th pick. And he had 2,814 career rushing yards. I'm not sure on the passing yards, but he also had 44 touchdowns. And TJ, you were also able to accomplish this in basically almost like 6 years with the Lions, with the Falcons, with the Redskins, with the Seahawks. And, brother, I mean, it was amazing, but we're going to go back a little bit. Give you some flowers because TJ also was a fast human being. You know what I'm saying? Legend has it that, and the truth is, they won the 4x1 in the state championships, and he also was a 3-time state all-state winner, champion in the shot put, and had the record for 1999 to 2016. Amazing accomplishments, and I know I'm going this way, but TJ, I just wanted to tell you, man. We want to thank you from Kalamazoo, being from the zoo and doing what you do. And tell us, man, did you see that coming? When you were younger?
Yeah. I mean, I dreamed about it. You talk about manifestation. You talk about putting what you want out there into the universe. And I mean, I dreamed about being, like I said, I'm watching y'all, and I'm watching the things y'all doing. And I mean, I guess it feels good to win. It feels good to open the paper and see your picture in there. It feels good to go out and do something that you've been doing in your backyard, and then you go out on a Friday night, or you go out on a track, or you go out on the basketball court or on a baseball diamond, and you win. I mean, that feels good. But it also means to have that feeling, you got to work hard at it. So every single day, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, you need to be doing something that's progressing you forward. Even if that thing moving you forward is overcoming a mistake or an obstacle. I mean, that's what it was. So to have that goal to be the greatest, to be great, to be one of the best, I had to look around and see, okay, if this person next to me did 10 push-ups, I got to do 11. Right. Now, then my mind goes, well, if I did 11, I bet you there's somebody in Texas who did 12. So I need to do 15.
That's right.
And then I'm like, I just need to keep going till I can't go no more. And why am I putting a limit on when I need to stop? And then, I mean, that just became the norm. That became how I practiced and how I carried myself before the lights came on. That's how I walked in the dark. And so, I mean, it was a beautiful thing to see success ahead of me from you, from my brother, from other guys at Lori Norks, because it was real. It wasn't just me reading a book like, oh man, he did it, but I don't know them. Nah, I knew what y'all did on a daily. I could watch it, and it was the hard work. So to be able to set that dream of wanting to be the best, and not just wishful thinking, but okay, if I'm setting this dream and I'm already seeing what it takes to be successful, am I going to pay the price? And from there, once you pay the price, next go cash your check, baby. I mean, that's what it was.
Pure certification there.
That's fabulous, right there.
You got to put the work in to get it right. Right.
You got to. I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, you can dream about anything you want. Like you can dream about anything. Yeah. But in order to actually live it, there's work, and the bigger your dream, the more work. The bigger you want to accomplish, because other people have the same dream. Other people are trying to do the same thing. So, and like Elove said, you can't do the same thing the person right next to you doing. You can't do it.
You can't.
Do something else. And within a sport, in that space, you got to figure out how, between those white lines and them X's and O's, how can you write your name with X's and O's? You feel me?
And I do, TJ. That's brilliant, TJ. And the thing about it, sports and music are such a fusion, because as a musician and an athlete, it takes dedication in both of them, and it takes purity when you want to get there. And I don't want to even and I wanted to ask Elove, you are greatness, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's amazing that you're here. I appreciate it so much. And you're here with my brother, TJ, and I. And just to jump off of what TJ was saying, when you knew that you were around that synergy of greatness in the beginning, and you've basically been, you're not just hip hop, because you also do tech. You have an amazing story with the video games. TJ, do you know he creates video games? He's got big things going on all over the world.
I know you have video games.
Such an ambassador, Elove, brother Elove, man. So let me just sit back and just let you explain or tell us everything that you'd like to share with us right now. Dub, how do you and Dub know each other? There we go.
Yeah, I've been knowing this man almost 20 years.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? I was out there working, doing my thing when I did, TJ. Being a runner, being in the business, trying to sign athletes my whole life. I chased it, and I just wanted to always be able to help somebody. So all them times when I was traveling, going to them games he was playing in San Jose, I knew Elove from being and on the West Coast in Beverly Hills. So when I used to go look at some of the Oregon players and everything, he used to take me around and take me to all the places I needed to go for training and then meeting some of the kids. He was kind of like my West Coast hookup when I got to the West Coast and go holler at him. So he did a lot of stuff with me, and I grew up to know him, and he always was there for me, trying to give me the advice and put me on the game fire. And I was already loved him anyway, just for him being with LL and everything, and always seeing the videos and everything. And then have to actually see him and meet him was like amazing, man. He ended up being, we best friends right now. So Elove, tell everybody about how you came into not only the tech stuff, but at the beginning when you first started writing music for and producing and everything with L. Tell me how that came about and what gave you the energy and the passion to be able to do music.
Man, about 10, 11 years old.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Can you fix that?
Gemini mixer, and just start going in the back, start making tracks, just start figuring out the blends with songs. Me and Cut used to go back and forth with break beats, listen to this, listen to that. Just start just
Hey, you breaking up, E. There you go.
All the guys, Kurzlow doing it, playing basketball. You just want to put out a hit song. You heard hits. You saw the guys doing it.
Can we do anything about that?
On the radio every other second. Some of these guys didn't even have videos at that point. But you heard the songs nonstop, and you just try.
Brother Elove, I don't mean to interrupt. But it's like we're having a little bit of a connection tech problem.
Next to Tilo Rock, who's the first artist.
Elove, we're breaking up.
1984. Jam situation jumped off. You know, that's when the real situation happened, which was Crush Groove. I can hear you good.
Okay.
Hey, you got to repeat that, E. We couldn't hear nothing. We're just not hearing you. Can you hear me, E?
I can hear you good.
Okay, we can hear you now. You got to stay still because it's breaking up a little bit. Well, we missed a lot of that. Can you just come back real quick?
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I was just talking about at that point in time, it was 1983, 84. Me and Kurt, we just got some new turntables, Gemini mixer. So we was pretty much going to his garage, my garage, every single day, trying to figure out the best possible way to blend these beats, make these tracks work, and just try to find the right artist at that time, because at that time we were going through numerous artists and nobody was really that right person. And when we finally met that person, it just all clicked.
Right. That person was LL, right?
That would be Todd, yeah, no doubt.
Now I've been seeing a lot. I've been doing a little bit of quite a bit. And could you tell us more about your video in the tech world and things that you're doing and engaging and empowering right now?
Yeah, 2014, I decided I was kind of burnt out with America, so I just moved to Japan. And actually, before I went to Japan, I was always into games. Even when I was, playing high school baseball, video games was the thing that I played every single day. I mean, like Space Invaders.
What was your game? What was your game in the day? What was your game?
Huh?
What was your game back in the day?
Space Invaders, Centipede. Nobody can mess with me. In those two games right there, I got you. And so
right, okay.
That was my quarter. I call it my quarterback. I used to always I play a bad hand and say, "Oh yeah, I got you." In this game.
Right. I'm having trouble hearing you.
Right there.
Go ahead, go back to TJ, man. They can't hear me breaking up.
I went for real at that point. I just took this dollar, so that was always my. Yo. Well, somebody.
Yeah, we hear you. Kind of was breaking up.
Man, that's fabulous. I wish we could
tell them about the headphones. Tell them real quick about the headphones and how you got the Kali Pope.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, tell us about when you went to Japan and you got the thing with Kali Pope to do the glasses.
Thank you, TJ.
To Japan. Japan was great. We built a nice engine, and that was the beginning of our driving game called Fearless D. D stands for Drift King. The Drift King, just in case for those who do not know, the Drift King is the guy that's fast.
30 seconds.
He's the guy that they call Tokyo Drift. So after it finally came on, he became the face of the board. Stanley, Jeremy Renner for the first Tokyo Comic-Con. That was 2016. We had about 500,000 people there. It was a 3-day event.
Right. That's beautiful, man. That is so much. I want to pivot right there. Speaking of video games, my favorite video game when I'm a gamer still a little bit, but my game was Madden. You dig what I'm saying? I was a Madden head. All right. And one of the most beautiful things in the world is when we come from Kalamazoo and we have a lot. That's why we got the show. We got a lot of talented people that we connected with, and we're so happy to have you on. And TJ, you was one of my favorite players to get on the game, just to let you know. You know what I'm saying? Diesel, baby, would come through and just, give him the ball. You running a 4-4 on your 4-3, really. You know what I'm saying? You don't want him getting away, And one of the things I wanted to say, TJ, is, and I'm going to make sure that the public knows this, when they drafted you, all right, well, Atlanta Falcons, they had Michael Vick, and then they had Warwick Dunn, and then they brought you in. And that was the beginning of the Thunder and the Lightning with a fast-running quarterback. So I really believe, man, in my heart that you all paved the way for what they got in the NFL today. See, the past, you shaped the future. You know what I mean? Because look at it right now. You got a fast back, you got a thunder back, and you better have a mobile back quarterback. Y'all was way above the chain. You had Michael Vick, you know what I'm saying, who could do what he needed to do at all times. And then you got Warren Dunn. Nobody ever thought that he could be an undersized person, be so strong. And then, of course, you got the powerful TJ and going through. And that's and one of the other things I wanted to say is that, B-Dub had brought this to my attention the other day, is that Michael Vick played with yourself and Jerome Harrison. So what I was saying is maybe, Brother Elove, after we get done chopping up and get together, we can create another video game with all the old school players that we love and make it like, some tech world where they playing or something like that,
You broke up. So yeah.
Oh man, I was talking about maybe we could create some video game action with TJ in the tech world that you have, and all of us, some NFL player and things like that, because we are always in the game. But what I was gonna say is, TJ, what did you think about when you used to see yourself in the video games, fam?
It was amazing. It was amazing to play with yourself, and I was similar. Playing video games throughout my whole childhood and playing Madden and all the other different games. And then to actually know, well, it was a trip, first of all, to play against folks in real life that I played video games against like that, or played video games as pretending to be them. That was crazy. But then once I had my chance to actually get in the game, I mean, to go and pick your team, they got your face up there. Yeah. I mean, it was dope.
Well, tell us about life, about being an NFL running back. Tell us about the hard work that you had to get there, and then when you got there, share some some stories with we might not know, TJ.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was like I was saying earlier. To get to that spot, it was a whole lot of work. But once you get to the league, everybody put in the work, so everybody is all on the same page. So when it's time for you to go to practice, when it's time for you to do certain things, I mean, you running with the best that are out there in the game. I mean, they're in the NFL. So, I mean, every day you had to bring in a lunch pail. Every day you had to go to work, and it was a high level. I mean, everybody was fast. So, at that time, the talent is crazy. So the game is really mental. It's more mental than it is physical. So knowing your plays, knowing where you're supposed to be, knowing down and distance, knowing all these things into that one play. So it ain't just you being bigger, faster, and stronger to folks. Like I said, everybody is big, fast, and strong. Bigger than you, faster than you, strong. I mean, everybody. So it becomes how well of a student are you to the game? Like, do you know your opponent? Are you watching film? Are you doing the things off the field to prepare you to have success on the field? So, I mean, it was learning that, and it was learning that it became a job. It was still a game, but it's a business and it's a job. So every day you punching the clock, you going to work and realizing that. And at the same time, if you go to work and don't show up and you ain't doing what you need to do, you're gonna be out of here, baby. I mean, not for long. That's what they call it, right? Not for long.
Not for long. The NFL.
So I mean, that was always, everyone's always trying to evolve and improve. So it was just something you had to show up and do every day.
Right on. And speaking of longevity and dedication and putting your hat on every day, Brother Elove, our connection is somewhat in and out. So if our producer was telling us if you went out and came back in, it might be better. But for some reason, it goes up and up. I don't know. It goes in and out. But we just wanted to ask you, being such a pioneer and a legend, and tell us about your relationship with Chuck D. And I know we haven't even gotten into the brim at all. And I know that you told us a long time, but what is it really like to be around such great legends? It's such an honor to have you, for real, brother.
I mean, me and Chuck, we go back to the 80s. We go back to where we were just about sharing buses. You know what I'm saying? So we went back to the Fresh Fest, to the very beginning of Def Jam, where everybody was doing it for the very first time. So, hey, he's done it before. Let me just follow his lead. We were all freshmen at the same time, and we all wanted to achieve the same thing, which was success. We all wanted to be bigger than the last guy that came before us, which was
Right.
Flash, all those guys, all the early pioneers. You just wanted to do it bigger and better, and you just wanted to learn from what they did and to see how you could use this technology that they did not have and surpass, all of their achievements.
That's amazing. That's because it was in those early days of hip hop. That's that serious competition, and you can still see how serious it is to this day, and how guarded it is. And it's out of respect, because I salute all of the legends here. As it is the 50th year anniversary of hip hop, we're all here collectively. TJ, is there any questions that you'd love to ask, brother Elove?
Nothing I can think of right now. I mean,
let me put you on the spot right there. You know what I'm saying? I just thought we got two Hall of Fame legends in two different areas. You know what I mean? I thought, like to give the shout out there. One thing I wanted to say, I had the privilege of meeting LL Cool J one time. And one of the things that I've noticed about a lot of the real pioneers and legends of the game is how genuine they are. You know what I mean? And that's really one of the most things that I got out of being in New York in my earlier years. When I met LL, he actually came, we were working at SJS Entertainment. He came up to me and met him at ABC Studios, and he came to the door, and he's much taller in person. And he said, "Hello, my name is LL Cool J," and we shook hands. And it wasn't like, I didn't know who he was, but it was his professionalism. And one of the things that I've always admired about both of you gentlemen, both of you kings, is your professionalism, in both of your sports. And it shows because you're both Hall of Famers, and we appreciate you being here with us here on From the Zoo. And TJ, brother Elove, the floor is yours.
We learned.
What you say? I couldn't hear you.
We learned everything pretty much as far as how to handle yourself from a couple people that was actually older than us at that time. Russell, Rick, Leo, Bill Adler, Steve Manning. They all said, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. Always hear a guy out, look a guy in the face when he's talking to you. Come straight. Don't bring no bullshit, because everybody in this business can see right through all the BS. Most of these guys, they were on the streets before they were in the suites. So they know the bullshit. Just keep it 100.
Keep it 100. That's the realest right there.
Hey, TJ, I got a question for you.
Yo,
when it's time, when the end of your career came to, did you feel like you could play any more years, or did you want to still play, or at that point you was ready?
Yeah, I was at that. By the time my career was over, I was ready to stop. I ended up, I played 7 years, and going into my 8th year, I got released right after training camp, like 3 years or 3 weeks. Back then, you have 4 training camp or preseason games. Right. So I got released right after the 3rd game, and at that time, teams already really got their roster, and so I ended up going probably about a week or two, week 2, week 3 in there. I ended up going to another team to get a workout, and I'm getting the workout. I mean, it's going into my 8th year. I gotta run the 40 again. Like, I gotta go through all these things that I'm working out with rookies and first, second year guys. Wow. And I already got film. I got footage. The guys I'm working out with asking me for my autograph. And at that moment, I was already, the fire wasn't burning inside of me like it needed to be. So at that moment, I'm like, dang, is this truly something I'm really trying to do? Am I really trying to go in this route? And I didn't feel like everything I talked about, the hard work and all that stuff, I didn't feel like paying the price no more. It wasn't in me to want to be great. I didn't want to go to practice, and my mind was everywhere else except where it needed to be. And if you do that in football, I mean, you can get yourself hurt, you can get other players hurt. I like to say it's like when you're dating a girl and you're gonna break up with her, but she break up with you first, and you like, dang, I feel some type of way about that. I think I was gonna do that, and you beat me to it. Hold on, I ain't ready yet. Then. But that's what happened, man. I was raised. I lost the love, and like I said, it probably showed in my practicing and in my attitude. And they're like, man, this guy, we need to go get a different guy. This ain't the guy. And
right, because when you was in Seattle, man, you was killing them, man. I didn't understand the politics like another thing, Jim Moore. I don't know. Yeah. I don't understand him. I don't know if it's something. If I looked between some or seen some, but did you get along with him?
I mean, I thought I did. I mean, part of the reason going to Seattle was Jim Moore was the head coach. We had the offensive court. I mean, it was pretty much the same Atlanta coaching staff that let me go. Was the same coaching staff that Seattle had, and it was like, come on in. I played under Mark Holmgren the first year I was there, right? And then Jim Moore got the job the next year, and that was the year I got released. So, I mean,
it was something personal with him. What was it? I mean, is it just something that you can't? It's not something that you did. It's just something that was on him, or what was that?
Well, I mean, I don't know how and why, but at the end of the day, football was something I did. So, I mean, he might have been my vessel to push me into a different spot in my life. And at some point, football was going to be. Oh, I mean, in my mind, it was already over. I mean, I was just there to collect the check, and by that happening, it forced me into creating a new me. It forced. I mean, I went through being depressed for a while. I had to. I changed the way I go by Todd. Like I changed my whole deal because the image and the likeness that I created was no longer the image and likeness that I was living or I wanted to be. So I was lost in that space. So truth is, and that's who I am now. So the truth is, Jim Moore, has given me opportunity to recreate myself and put the ball back in my hand. Like, okay, so now what you gonna do? Now who are you? Right. And for about 10 years, I ain't know. And through that process, it was able to redefine and redevelop and transform.
And you know what, TJ? They can't take what you did off of that field.
Oh, and it's a blessing to have done it, but the way I view my life, that the NFL was an internship for what I can do, what I'm going to do.
What you really do, right.
I mean, that was showing me the possibilities. Like this is if you have a dream at 8 and you do everything we talked about, work hard, do all these things, that dream can manifest in 13 years, which is 21. So if I'm now at this age and I have a dream, I should be able to cut the time in half because I've learned some things. I've made some connections. I have evolved. So if I have a dream I truly believe in and I give myself 5 to 10 years, there's a great chance that it can happen. It can be bigger if that's my goal.
Right. That's amazing. Look, we're getting ready to get down to our second quarter. We're getting to halftime right now. And we want to definitely check in some more with Brother Elove. TJ, that was amazing. Hey, thank you. I'm from the zoo.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say, Brother Elove.
What about this? I got a good question, man. I got a good question.
There we go.
Going through your recruiting process, when you was making your decision to either go pro or stay in school, TJ, how hard was that? Because we went through the thing of picking agents and finding out what's the best fit for you, and then we went through a whole bunch of stuff arguing why, as people inside the business trying to find out why you signed with an agent the way you signed with him. One guy said, he probably did it for 1.5% for Joe Siegel, that type of thing, and I was like, nah, he probably just had a good connection with him. Can you tell me what narrowed it down to dealing with Joe Siegel and the other interviews that you had when you was finally about to make your decision?
Yeah, JS he was my guy, and I did some interviews before, and they just didn't seem like the right fit for me. I mean, I had some people who were trying to be like my father figure, and I didn't need you to be my father.
Definitely don't need that.
I had other people who were really not a top tier, and I wanted someone who was a top tier. And when JS came in, JS was all about the business. He was like, listen, my job is to do this. If I do this for you, if I'm able to get this contract to this level, that's all I need. Because if I do that, that means I'm gonna reap the benefits. And so for him, he wasn't trying to be a father figure. He wasn't trying to be a spiritual influence. He wasn't trying to do nothing except go get the contract together and get me right.
Deal done.
That's what, and that's what I love. And the truth be told, I didn't talk to him until he was very at the end. Like I was deciding between three people, and JS called me and said, "Hey man, I dropped the ball, man. I'm sorry. Somehow you slipped through, but this is what I'm about. This is what I believe you can do. Can we meet?" Yeah. I mean, he came in the dark of the night, and then next thing I know, I'm like, this is my man. Like, this is what's going. And again, his business, his professionalism. He is a sports aide. He wasn't trying to promise me off the field stuff. He wasn't trying to get me in music videos. He wasn't trying. He had people who could do that, but he was strictly about getting the contract, getting drafted, and that's what I wanted. That's all I needed.
That's awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
But we was out with Norm Nixon back then.
That's right.
They loved TJ as well, man. And they did it. He had his mind made up, what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? So shout out to that one.
And I just wanted to pivot off that. That was awesome, TJ and B-Dub. Thank you. I just wanted to pivot with that to talking about contracts and being solid. And as Brother Elove, like at that higher level, you were talking about like Russell Simmons and Laura and these things. And I've been noticing, it seems like you've always been the glue of that person behind the scenes. You've known all of the big people, and how it's always that person that is, they don't seem like they're out in front, but they're always the one. And that's what I'm honored to be here, because I know that you are the glue. And tell us how you have such a legend in Brother LL Cool J. How does that work? When people trust in you like that.
Well, all starts with work ethics. You gotta have the work ethics to get any job done. If you're gonna be successful, work ethics, you have to have a certain amount of, this is not good enough. I can't do a half-ass job. I have to take it to the next level. So I've always been a perfectionist. So whatever I do in life, I always try to give it 100%, 110%. Nothing is never good enough, even if everybody in the studio was like, yo, that was dope. Nah, let's do it again. So I've always been a do it again type of guy. So everything in my life is always about doing it again, trying to get this thing as perfect as possible.
And that seems like that's coming from the company that you keep. I mean, being with some of the pioneers and the architects, that put together the sound of hip hop in the early beginning.
Right. Hey, Elove, you got reality show going? You got reality show stuff going on?
Yeah, we got this show called In That Corner. It's actually should be in pre-production on it right now. Chuck D from PE just did the theme song, and I have a lot of different cameos from DMC, Flav Chuck, Wiz Khalifa. I have all types of different artists that's going to be making an appearance in the reality show, as well as one of their songs for the soundtrack for the actual video game itself. We're actually in the process of producing the soundtrack. I have numerous songs from different artists, but now it comes the time to score the soundtrack to the game, and that's going to be a process that's being handled by my producer. Actually, he's in Detroit. His name's Kid, and Kid's music supervisor for both soundtracks.
Outstanding. And now, TJ, I know that you also do a little bit of music as well, and I definitely check in with you on the Rain on your podcast show. Very inspirational. And one of the things that I wanted to ask both of you gentlemen, feel free to come in when you want. You both are philanthropists. You come from I know that both of you come from great people. And where does that philanthropy come from in your life? And then how does that change your industries that you're in because of who you are?
Yeah. It's where I come from. I mean, my family's they're educators first and foremost. My dad is still teaching at Lori Norrick's his 55th year of the same spot. So you talk about work ethic, you talk about being great, you talk about discipline, determination, commitment. Yeah. This man talked it as a kid. I mean, and now he's still doing it. I mean, he's still 50, he's 77 years old. And for this guy to be 77 years old in his 55th year in the same school and still be relevant, able to talk to a 15, 16, 17-year-old and educate. That's amazing. It's amazing.
And still touching souls to this day. I mean, you know, your father was so instrumental in my life.
I mean, he in school right now. I mean, he in the classroom right now.
Right.
Kids. So I
mean, he coached me. I used to play for Mount Zion. He was my basketball.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I saw. And teaching is the biggest form of giving back anyway. One of the biggest forms is to be able to teach children how to live in life, educate them on the do's, the don'ts, and give them knowledge. So that's my family. My mother was an educator. My grandparents were educators. My family used to always somehow find ways to give back, whether it was going to the homeless shelter and helping out, whether it's giving food to families on the street. So this is what I saw. And then especially when I got in the league, I did it my whole life. But when I got in the league, I mean, too much is given, much is required. And that gave me a chance to give back all that was poured into me to help me achieve where I'm at, to help me be where I'm at. So it's part of it. I mean, it's part of like breathing. This is something that in my life, for my world, it's something that helps fulfill me. I feel like it's part of my purpose, my mission, have a passion for it. And, you know, there's always something you can do to help somebody out. Somebody's always able to their life can be uplifted.
Right. That's beautiful, TJ. And you know what, man? Like the beautiful thing about that is I know where you come from, and I know that the good things that you do, and I know the good things that everyone does. And one of the coolest thing about that is, you know, you got to please ask your father. You know, I know he's busy all the time, but we would love to have him as a guest. And
that'd be cool. Like that.
And matter of fact, we would ask. There's so many questions that I would want to ask both of you. You know, I almost want to do the interviews again, type of thing. You know what I mean? I'm just so happy to be, you know, have you both here. Brother Elove, I'm an artist too, and one of the things that I've always loved about the sound that PE had. Could you tell us about, you know, because I know you've been in production with that. You know, when you get that big sound like that and that production sound and that synergy, how does that all come together when it comes with the business, you know, in the early days and then still to this day? Like, how do you select artists for yourself?
You gotta take the mute on. Yeah.
Right on.
Mute button on.
No, so every artist's approach to every song is different. Right. Some artists take the track home. Some guys like to write in the studio. It varies, you know. For me, I like to do the pre-production at home in the home studio. When I go into the big studio, it's only to do real vocals, mix, and you do all your pre-production at home.
Right.
And all your thoughts, everybody put their creative energies in. And when you go in the big studio, you know exactly what you're going to do. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 at that point in time.
Right. Yes, that's right. And you know, one of the main things that I've been learning and things like that is really for artists is to handle your business, you know, take care of your copyrights and learn how to trademark. And speaking of trademarks, that is probably one of the most amazing stories to have the #1 iconic trademark in hip hop history. Could you tell us some more about that with the PE?
That was a whole process right there. I got a call for Bill Stephanie. Bill Stephanie was working with Chuck at that time in the administration role. And Bill called me. He was an AE. Chuck wanted to talk to you. I said, uh-oh, something wrong. He said, nah, everything's fine. Okay. So Chuck pulled me aside. He said, AE, there's a picture of you in this magazine. I happen to be, a graphics artist. And I'm going to take that picture of you and I'm going to turn it into the logo.
Wow.
With the bullseye. I'm going to put the bullseye right over your picture. And this is going to be the logo. So we did the paperwork and we agreed. And next thing you know, that logo been with PE ever since they dropped their first single.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And it is surely.
Nah, that's hip hop history for your ass.
And it's actually the #1 logo in all of hip hop. Plus, it's in every museum around the globe, including the Smithsonian.
That's cool.
Now, are they giving you at the Grammys? Are they giving you award for the #1 logo in hip hop?
That's going to be a process, but it's in the works. It's in the works right now. It's in the works right now. Yeah, it's in the process. It's taking a little bit longer than I anticipated, but these things take time sometimes. It took Beastie Boys 12 years to get a street named after them in the Lower East Side. So it's all about patience sometimes.
Let me ask you a question. How did you like the hip hop 50th anniversary celebrations that's been going on? How's it been to you? What do you think about that?
The 50th celebration was cool. It's great, but we need to have more. We need to have more ownership in the music as a whole, not just the music, but the platforms. We need to own the platforms that is the distribution platform for the music video and content as a whole, including the reality shows.
Agreed. Do you think and that takes us to a bigger thing, because it's not that hip hop hasn't evolved enough to have the monies for it. We just probably need to learn how to build infrastructure,
Exactly.
Get land and then buy our own stadiums. And then, but the other side of that is people have to cooperate. The ones that have the power will have to cooperate to be able to give us our own stadiums, to give us our own venues.
You're gonna have to take it. Nobody. They're not giving anything away at that level. You're talking big chips and big dollars. So nobody's just gonna turn things over. You gotta come with a strategic plan of an attack, and you can't mess when you shoot at the king.
Man, for that's the 30-second shot clock. We just counting down. As you can see, we got the clock going on. We're right here, and I'm from the zoo. Hey, if we could get one thing from both TJ Duckett, man, where are you from?
From the zoo, baby. I'm from the zoo, baby.
And Brother E, Brother Elove, we are so happy to have you. You and B-Dub have been friends. We would like B-Dub, go ahead on, man, run that, man. Help us out. Tell us about some more about y'all.
Oh man, B-Dub is maybe you survived through Cali from sun up to sundown trying to get it. Man, that's when Cali was popping at that time. And man, it has went so fast, but it was really, really lesson learned. Every day was a lesson learned.
Yeah. Do you like California better than the East Coast? Which one do you prefer nowadays?
I rather Tokyo over all of it. Yes.
Wow.
Tokyo and Vegas.
Tokyo and Vegas. Okay. That sounds like that's lit right there. That's what we call lit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had a good experience, man. Me and Elove used to live in Beverly Hills for a couple years, and it wasn't nothing like living in Beverly Hills, man. Coming off the cold water canyon late at night, it'd be cold up there like Michigan, bro. Coyotes eating the puppies up. Coyotes eating the puppies up. It was something else,
man. Bring the bubble goose out. Yeah.
Green Acres is a little lower. We was up at a little bit higher off of Coldwater Canyon, but the experience on living in Beverly Hills was amazing for the time. Going through that part of my life to get that, man, was amazing. I wouldn't count. I'm talking about late night. We never had any parties and parties in the hills all night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just amazing, man. And then they think California is big, but it's really small. Everybody around everybody.
He's just in the big cities and stuff. Ain't nobody in the desert over here, over there, because of coyotes and everybody, bears and all that.
Oh yeah, yep.
But you know what?
So I learned a lot coming up in California, especially when I was making my transition, because I had to leave Kalamazoo to grow, man.
Right.
I was still treading water, but I had to get up out of there, man.
And Dub and I, we haven't even really chopped it up, but Dub and I have been friends for, oh my God, I don't even want to tell on myself right now. But the thing about it is, one thing that's amazing about this whole thing with you brothers is like the family and the love that I feel, because you know what I'm saying? Like TJ, you're one of the most genuine persons that I've known. And brother Elove, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm being friends with B-Dub. I've heard about you for over the years. And I was, just so honored to be able to be, tap in with you closer, because all my dreams, I mean, we're here, you know what I mean? And just the connections with TJ's dad and I've even talked about his brother Tico. Shouts out to TD. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, man, we was the let me run this down while I got this online. TJ, we came up with a top 5. We thought in order or whatnot: TJ Duckett, Little John Flowers, Jerome Harrison, Corey Little Bull, and Tico Duckett are our top 5. I mean, like, that's what we just said. Now we got some honorable mentions. Wesley Winfield, Jonathan Frazier, John Thompson, my boy Eric Miles, Money.
You better not miss my boy, Jason Beeville.
Jason Beeville, I got you, JB. What's up, Jason Beeville? Jason Beeville was the protege. TJ. Jason was the protege.
He my top 5.
He was dope with it. You know what I'm saying? He was good. And then he, like, anyway, that's some other stuff.
Long distance touchdown specialist.
Distance. Hey, it's been Tom Ford. Got to give a shout out to Tom Ford, and also honorable Juwan Hemphill. You know what I'm saying? The young OG. I give him some love too on that too. Yeah. Was there anybody? Was there anybody that was in your way, TJ, that you had to get through at some point in your running back career?
I mean, Kalamazoo had a lot of talent. I mean, it had a lot of talent, and it did help that I, with my work ethic and the things I did. But in practice and in games, we was playing star quality. I mean, every time you played against Kalamazoo Central, Battle Creek Central, Bent Harbor, St. Joe in football, I mean, you playing against folks.
Niles.
Yep, Niles.
The Big 8 was ridiculous back in the day.
To be able to do the work and practice and all that, and then know you're playing against some stars, actually.
You didn't even say Portage Central and Northern.
Didn't even say Portage Central, yeah. So I mean, and at that time, these schools were really good. I mean, each school could hold their own, and they had stars on their team. So if you didn't show up on Friday, if you didn't show up and that's just football. I mean, we didn't even talk about basketball talent. I mean, we ain't talk about baseball talent and track talent that come out of the zoo. But if you did that, if you didn't show up on Friday, you get your head knocked off. I mean, and
the one thing about the zoo is,
the Big 8.
Big 8 was that thing.
We understood how it was because we had such a program in Kalamazoo with the sports, with the children growing up. Like B-Dub said, Coach Duckett was his basketball coach in church when we was little. And one of the things, brother Elove, like that you probably seen with us in this side of the view is like people in the zoo is really close, and everybody, have that camaraderie, like the same camaraderie that you have with Chuck D and LL and all of the brothers like that. So it's like, we so honored to have you here, and I would like to have you. You're open to be a guest with us at any time in our major contact section of our show at any time, any and every time. Anytime. Both of you gentlemen are always welcome.
Hey, my last question to TJ: TJ,
for comeback shows.
when you was going through your situation with when cleaning and cleaning yourself out, how did you make it through your 40 days of fasting?
Yeah,
No water,
boy.
just water,
40
man.
days, 40 nights. Hey,
Ooh, talk about it.
I mean, you got to tap into the source. I mean, there's a source in this thing.
Gotcha.
That's like biblical, TJ. That's biblical, spiritual.
I know.
That's hard, bro.
That
is hard.
You got to tap into the source, and I mean, there's faith, there's discipline, but at the end of the day, man, this is way bigger than us. There's something else that's running this. No matter what you believe, there's something else. So, how can you figure if you choose to? Now, some people don't care, but if you want, you can choose to connect and tap into that energy. It's the same process.
Yes.
And when you do connect and tap in, now I mean, God's breathing in your lungs every day. There's some things that can happen.
Exactly.
So putting it out there and saying, I mean, I had the resources, I had the funds, I had the dreams, I had everything I wanted, but I didn't truly have the connection to the source. So 40-day fast was something that it was like, okay, for football, I'd run through a brick wall for the game. I'd give up my life for the game of football. So now would I be willing to give up my life for the game of life? And so I'm either going to die doing this, or I'm going to realize that we are very mighty people. There's going to be one or two results after this 40 days.
Right.
And the fact that I made it through and I finished it,
man,
I know what we can. We some mighty. All of us, every single human being is mighty, and tapping into it is where we lack and what we don't do. But if we did and we made that somewhat of a priority, ain't no telling what you can do in this world. Whatever you want,
I know that's right.
Manifest it.
You know what?
Like Fox say, something to live for, something to die for.
That's it. Every single day, and give your life
definitely had his hand on all of
reason, life meaning.
Yes.
And for me to actually make that make sense, reaching the NFL didn't truly make sense to me. I mean, I knew it was possible, but I mean, you know, it didn't.
We knew it was possible. Y'all look like NFL players when you and Lil John was in high school.
I mean,
y'all was doing Miami Dolphins 70-point stuff.
Shout out Lil John Flowers.
So it was now time to take the whole thing to a new level, and that was the 40-day fast.
That's beautiful, man.
That's what's up, man. Shouts out to Lil John Flowers, my baby.
So
yeah, that's my brother. You look like you're on the move. You're making some moves, taking care of business. What can we look forward to on the horizon? Like you were speaking on a little bit earlier.
Well, we're gonna drop the reality show probably around first quarter in that corner. We're gonna roll out a single for the video game Fearless D. That's the drift driving VR racing game. We're gonna roll out the song called Strap Back. That's the Chuck D single. That song is also going to be the theme song for the reality show, as well as the single for the boxing game. It's called Step Back.
Boxing game. That's dope. That's dope. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That's right, baby.
We're going to roll out first, second quarter of 2024.
Now, do you get a chance to go visit the Caribbeans very much?
Yeah, I go to St. Thomas all the time. You know, that's my place where I was born. So I was just down there last April, a little bit after 420. We had the third annual event that we have down there. It's like a 4-day event. We're gonna definitely do it 2024, probably around the same time as 420.
Now, they gave you the key to the city, right, E?
It's in the works. They had a little problem down there. They had a situation with the tourism board, and they just have to get some things together. But that's coming probably towards the end of second or third quarter of 2024. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, but it's gonna happen next year.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Well, I thank y'all, man.
TJ, you got anything in what you got? What you got in the works, TJ? Real quick, what you got in the works?
What you got going on, T?
You know, I'm giving and serving. So I got right now we in this fundraiser we doing for the around the McDonald houses in Michigan or mid Michigan or Lansing and Ann Arbor. So I got that going on. Tico and I got our janitorial supplies facilities management company. Yes. We got that working. I do a t-shirt printing, so I got my t-shirt printing business. And I'm motivational speaking. I'm going and talking to people throughout the country, just inspiring them, motivating them, teaching them how to transform through transitions, and just loving life, man. Playing a little bit with the music space, getting my energy out there. Just I'm having fun. I'm drawing up plays in the dirt, baby. I'm making things
drawing up plays in the dirt. Finger in the sand. Hey, man, I think it's absolutely one thing. I mean, I think that. You know, it's okay to be humble, but it's definitely okay to let everybody know and toot your horn once in a while, when you know you've always sat back and just kind of been behind the scenes. So I'm really glad today that both of us and both of our guests today was be able to shine some light on our hometown in Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo, we always been doing big things. We got more to come. We got more to see. You know what I mean? I am absolutely happy with this going on. Dub 10, what's happening with you? Damn it, boy. We got a section in the show. We got to.
Oh, damn it, boy. Some Coach Jackson would say. So I say we was coming from a game.
Tell them what damn it, boy is, Sam.
We had to fight to get up out of there. We went to Niles. They were shooting Coach Jackson with the BBs. And they shooting BBs. So we get into the locker room, and Danny Lewis says, "Coach, where we gonna go? We gonna go out the back door? We gonna go out the back door?" And Coach Jackson said, "Damn it, what way did we come in?" Everybody said, "Through the front." Well, that's the goddamn way we going out. We ain't no cowards. That was probably one of the biggest things I miss about him, man, because he was always funny, but he was real as hell. And shouts out to Coach Jackson, rest in peace. But he was legendary. Him and Coach Duckett was legendary because they still doing it, and you ain't got that. You ain't gonna get that no more. That's like one of a kind person. Like Ted, one of a kind. You ain't gonna get that more like
one of a kind. My dad even knows.
Yeah,
trailblazer, man. And that's one of the things I want to have on the show eventually, TJ, if we can, is definitely have Coach Duckett on, because like you said, he's 55 years at the school and he's still been doing it. And he's raised a lot of champions, as did Coach Jackson. And that's one of the things is we want to give shouts out to the people in our lives from the zoo and give back and give them their flowers as well. Man, I'm sure we could go on for days and days.
Yeah,
you know
man. TJ Duckett, you was help to keeping me grow, man. I promise you that, man. And I looked up to you, and I'm older than you, but your hard work and dedication made me get out there, keeping it 100 with you, to pursue what I like to do. And I wanted to just do something to help kids. It ain't had nothing to do with nothing else. You know, and that's what I've been continuing to do, and I'm gonna try to keep doing it the best. But it was your inspiration that helped me get through a lot, man. Pursuing, seeing your life go through that, to be a part of that. I appreciate the ride, baby.
Oh man, I'm gonna say on top of that, I'm gonna come back to the UTJ, but I'm gonna say the brother Elove. I've been inspired with LL's first album, Radio. When I was down in my mama's basement, that was the first one. I had a record player, and I had those records that I still got to this day. You know what I'm saying? These kind of vinyls, baby. I'm still digging in the crates. Yeah, I'm digging in the crate.
Okay.
And so I got the LL, but I still got those records to the ones I was going to pull it out. But I wrote my first song listening to LL in my basement. So I'm definitely, you can go back in my history, you know what I'm saying? And L's been LL, Rakim, Big Daddy, Run DMC, all of them have been essential to my growth in music. And then TJ, and that's, I want to say that, salute to you, sir, on there. And then TJ, my brother, man, one of the most humblest, coolest kings in the world. You know what, y'all? Y'all don't understand. I knew this young man was going to be the bomb. He had a little ducktail. TJ had a little tail.
He had this little tail.
He had this little tail, you know what I'm saying, with a low fade. Made him laugh right there. That's how back we going. And we working, TJ, remember, we working in the blocks. We working in the blocks in the hallway, inside. running down past championship trophies sliding. And I'm talking, we ain't running just okie doke. We going fast. It's Eric Miles over here. It's Tico Duckett. It's Coach Duckett there. We going bananas. Y'all just didn't understand how bananas we worked.
We're going to have to do a part
to get
two,
our
man.
pictures in the hallway. So, I could go on and on for days because of the tremendous things. First of all, what Coach Duckett did for me, believing in a brother, all those years and giving me that fatherly love. Even though I have two great fathers, I can always take another. And then the coolest thing is my pops knew your dad way before we both existed type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's just how the way of life goes. And that's why we all here. And I don't want to over talk, man, but I'm so happy to be here with both of you all.
I'm happy too, man.
I want to say thank you to y'all too. That's who I was watching. It was nice to see Michael Jordan, but I'm watching y'all. I'm watching y'all on a day-to-day basis. Right. So that's literally, it's no secret. It started out playing rocket football on Northside Raiders. You start there, and then you keep going up through the rank, and you just watching people. You watching the things to do, and you watching the things not to do. You see it in your neighborhood, and for whatever reason, Kalamazoo at that time, everybody believed that they were going to be the next whatever it was, and everybody was working hard. Everybody. And it was the norm.
That's the truth, man. What? I didn't mean to cut you off, but I remember one thing. I had a talk with Coach Duckett one time, and he was telling me how there was different in his coaching. There was different synergy levels of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when I was in high school, there was Sam, Tico, Eric, all of the Kyle Ray, Jay Peasy, Dr. Penn. You know what I'm saying? You name it. It's sports, basketball, football, and then on the other side, Derek Jeter is playing baseball. B-Dub is playing the quarterback. It was ridiculous at that time. The talent, Sam Mitchell, C. Wimp, my brother. It's ridiculous going on in all of the sports. And then when you came, the same thing was going on with you and Eric Gardner and them. And
that's what it was.
Yeah, man.
If you think about those in my formidable years, 8, 9, whatever, I'm at y'all games on Friday night. I'm at y'all games on Tuesdays in basketball. I'm at y'all track meet, and I'm pretending to do what y'all did. You talk about shot put. Running was cool, but I'm seeing Kyle Ray throw that thing, and I'm like, Kyle Ray. And back then, my dad is like, you're going to end up playing linebacker, and he got me walking around holding the shot. Well, to go and for me to break Kyle Ray's record that I had seen for dang 20 years, 15 years, that's the record I wanted. And I just kept going.
We're not even talking about the time. That was an awesome one, TJ.
The time that y'all ran in track and the things y'all did in track, like on that big board at Norks, that's what I'm shooting for. That was in those standards that y'all set, that resonated in the whole country. That was some of the top numbers in the whole country. So throughout my childhood, I'm reaching the top. I wanting to be one of the great from what I'm seeing. So it's a credit to y'all that I'm even who I am. So thank y'all. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate
it. Congratulations,
man. I appreciate it. Can you give us your top 5 before we get out of here? The top 5 running backs out of Kalamazoo?
Ooh, top 5 running backs. Top 5 running backs.
Ooh, you got a 6 man.
I'm gonna go with definitely Tico and Little. Now I'm gonna count Portage, but he ain't play running back, but he might as well, and that's Kelly Baraka.
Kelly Baraka.
Gotta throw Kelly Baraka in the mix.
Ooh,
that boy.
Didn't we just say Kelly's name the other day, Dub?
Kelly Baraka was a dog. To watch him and Jerome Harrison go head up.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think there was no grass left.
But Kelly was killing it at Michigan. And you know what? Was y'all both there at the same time?
What? Kelly?
Yeah.
Where? In high school?
He was younger. Michigan?
Nah.
Okay, that's right. He's a little younger.
He was younger than me. But him, Jerome, Little, Tico, and I don't know for that. Other than me, but I ain't gonna include myself. But that 5th spot, I don't know, man.
Yeah, some bad ones out there too, boy.
Yeah,
that's a really good list, man.
I might have to stop right there because I mean them some dogs right there. I mean Jerome. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
He don't play receiver. I mean he don't play running back. But Greg, I mean
Greg Jennings.
Greg Jennings, and then I mean Eric Gardner. He don't play, and then Carl
quarterback.
Tilly.
Yeah,
and then you
he
got
was
Carl
a dog
Tilly.
too.
I mean, there's you can't
Would you be brave enough to say who are your top 5 all-time football players from Kalamazoo? Because that would go way in. We're gonna get into different positions.
Well, I can say from what I remember seeing and playing against, but definitely you got Greg Jennings without a doubt. What you got Jerome without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in my time, I mean, you got
Little John
without a doubt.
I mean, that's 4 NFL players right there. And then if you had your brother Tico,
I mean, that's so.
But then again, there's like Pete Metzlars.
Well, I mean, there's other guys.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying like that's going to be for our discussion for the future and the thing like because we're going to have to expand that because the football greats going to be like chop it in like, well, you didn't know about this guy, but I was just thinking like because you're super all-time great, fam. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just it's probably an athlete, bro, not just football. That brother, man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the shot put record was amazing to break Kyle Ray's. And TJ, I felt that when you said to get on that board, bro.
That board was everything, man.
Board was everything to get on that board, man. If you don't understand, to go through.
I know that's right.
That we're gonna have a track program, TJ.
So tell them this one. So what about this one, TJ? Top 5 basketball.
Ooh.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
We're gonna save that for the next show because that's
a good one.
And then, but you also got to do this though. First of all, you also got to do. There's got to be some type of criteria.
Yeah,
I mean, because there's a lot of people that play, but did you take it to the next level, or did you not take it to the next level?
We did talk about that.
Everybody was so there. In my opinion, you talk about greatest. I mean, there might have been a couple of great games and a lot of talent, but were you able to compete at a national level and take it to the next level?
Who was consistent on all levels? Period.
And then that's to me that's a different conversation. But I mean, there's this Kalamazoo, for how big or small, however you want to call it, can compete with some of these big city talent wise. If Kalamazoo had one high school,
we've been national ranks. And you know what?
That's a great point, T.
I'm from the zoo right now. You can hear it right now. Get these Hall of Famers mentality. Listen to this. Repeat this show. Watch it over and over again. You're not going to get nothing else like this out there. The mentality from the Hall of Famers of how to get it.
That's
man, TJ, brother.
Man. You know, and it's great. And also we had great leadership. I mean, my father, and I'm speaking from Norks, but my father, you had Coach Jackson at Norks. You had Dob Drake, who was my football coach. I know y'all remember Jaime Gordon. He was at
Gordon. What's up, Coach Gordon? I'm glad you said that. Go ahead on.
He's still doing it too. He's still doing it.
You talking about somebody attractive?
You know what? I'm gonna add one with you. Larry Green was my man.
Coach Green. I mean, so again, this is who defines me personally. Yeah. Right. You know, they defined me, and when I was a little kid, like I wasn't no star. I'm just a little kid, and they're
pushing. Special, TJ. You was special, TJ. You was up there. You was working out with us at 8 years old, brother.
I remember.
We knew. You know how you just
been
know.
A dog. You had two other brothers to look up to. So I know
we're not. Oh, you know what? And shame on us for not shouting out Tony, because Tony was the
shout out to Tony Duckett.
Tony Duckett.
Tony Duckett.
The original Mannings. The original Mannings. Come on now.
Yeah, no, I came from. I mean, Kalamazoo. It wasn't. I'm thankful to have the opportunity to do what I did, but there's no way I would exist if Kalamazoo wasn't the city I was raised in. Bottom line.
Kalamazoo, baby.
All day,
already, man. Love you all day,
Chicago,
all day, man.
Grand Rapids, Battle Creek, man. Gentlemen, I know I got to go coach some children with track today. In fact, TJ, I got to get ready to go do my track coaching. You know, I'm coaching out in Richmond, fam, to the elementary kids.
Okay, good.
I'm on them, though. I'm on them, fam.
Yeah, man. It was good. It's good to see you look good, T.
Man, same. Likewise.
Look good, man. And my mom was one of your biggest fans. I told her I was having you on the show. She worked at the concessions for the Astros.
Okay.
So she had to work, or she was gonna tune in on her phone while driving. But my mom was your biggest fan, man. Just letting you know.
Tell her I said hello, and I appreciate y'all doing this show, man. Wish y'all much love, much success, and
thank you, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be good,
brother. Elove, we thank you for coming. I know we've been chopping it up with our brother TJ and you, but this has been a great experience. We would love to have you again. I'd love to talk to you some. I could talk to you forever about the old school pioneer type stuff, bro. You know, because I'm one of those heads. I love the music and everything. Dub, my brother, you know how we do. We want to thank everybody. We want to thank our producer,
Kiki,
with the Like Minds Come Through Network. I got my man Dub 10. I'm the extraordinary Mike, Michigan. You know how we do. Hey, before we go, is there anybody? Here's the email address right there for everybody who want to check in for bookings and sponsors. But one thing we want to do with our guests, TJ, is there anyone that you could recommend that you know that could be on the show? I'm from the Zoo. Who would you recommend for us to be on the Zoo? I'm from the Zoo.
Who would I recommend?
Yes.
Lil John Flowers.
Yes, sir.
All right. Little John Flowers, you have been called to be a guest.
That's the OG right there.
All right.
That's my
we'll talk about that next time.
Go ahead, fam. Tell it.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to give Little some love. I mean, we all watching people, and I'm watching Little. I mean, this is the guy who's on my teammate, and I mean, just watching Lil John work by him. I mean, watching him work is special.
Oh, he a dog.
We did have a segment where we was running some things, man. But like I said, when you guys were in high school, it was like watching an NFL game. The way that y'all was dominating both sides, and
y'all definitely need to get Little on here. Get Little on here next.
Because he was doing his thing with the Jets too. By the way.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I signed Lil John, so he was 100. I didn't get to get big dump truck, but I did get Little. You know what I mean? hey, Dump, you remember that $125,000 check I gave you, right?
Where is it at? I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking for it. Where is it?
I don't know that one.
I'm looking for that. I need that one. Where it at? I sign. Hey, bring it to me now. I sign.
Come on with it. Hey, man, you keep doing the show, man. We might have some sponsors knocking on the door for you, brother. You know, and brother, one question. I want to say the same thing. I want to extend the same thing. Is there any one of the greats that you could recommend for us to be on from the Zoo?
Look, he got to do the old school. He got to think about it.
Got to think about that one. That's
I know you got to.
All right.
Get back.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot so much.
Yeah, he trying to put Chuck D. He trying to put Chuck D or somebody on there. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody that you recommend would be amazing.
KRS-One would be a good interview, bro.
Whoa,
that would be that would be a good one.
You know what? If you could do that for us and me in particular, I go crazy, man. Can I take? I know they told me, Mike, don't be talking too much on the podcast, but I can't help it. But look, if you could do KRS-One, that would. I remember seeing KRS-One meditating down in Jersey City. I had just drove from Red Bank, New Jersey, and I gave him my cassette tape, and I never forget that. And he invited me to be in the Temple of Hip Hop, and this was 1995.
Wow.
And now let me tell you the craziest thing about seeing him there. I was in college at the University of Oregon in 1990, and KRS-One came there to the University of Oregon to speak to my class as a lecture. So he was the first one that was on me telling me about beef. TJ, I left Kalamazoo, and the first one that gave me game was KRS-One on a lecture at 18 talking about, and he went crazy, and I went and started to get into the books and reading and going back. So I credit KRS-One as a scholar getting me on my game like that.
Oh,
wow. How did you say that? That's amazing. Thank you, brother Elove. That was all.
Thank you. What an experience.
Man, y'all amazing, man. I don't even know how to end the show. All I can say is, yo,
I appreciate it.
I appreciate everybody. You're done.
I forgot to light my blunt. Damn. It was so intense, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it, man.
We got one thing.
And everything. I'm glad we all doing good, man.
Yes.
And keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. That's good, man. We're gonna circle back around. And we all we got, man. Miss your game.
That's
all
it.
the way to Kalamazoo. We in this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck.
That's it. I love it.
TJ.
Yo,
TJ.
Yes, sir.
I want to hear some of that music, bro.
All right.
That music now.
I've been so I like COVID when COVID happened.
Here we go.
I started playing. I mean, here go. I be right down here. Here go my little mic stand right here.
Hey,
I'm
Let's get it.
I'll either get your number or something. I did just find you on Instagram, so I just started following you. So I'm gonna send you.
I'll follow you back and you just DM me some material. I want to hear what you're doing.
I will, and it's. I can't wait for you to hear it. Okay, I mean, because it's just a hobby right now. But
damn, I want to hear it too.
Hey, hey, I'm gonna tell you what,
TJ, see how that works.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what though. I got an album done actually, and I'm gonna send you the link. I'm showing you real quick, but I'm gonna send you the link.
I got it here. I got it.
That's it right there.
There it is. Put it on up there. Let's go.
You serious?
So yeah, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna put it in your DM as soon as we get off and check it out. Check me out.
Check it out. I'll get right back to you.
Yes, sir.
And that's how we do on Hey, once again, we want to thank all of our esteemed Hall of Fame guests. We're glad that you all can join us, and thank you so much for taking the time out and being here with us, especially on our first show. Amazing. Dub, you got anything to take us out with on that, brother?
Hey, man, this is amazing first show. Look forward to working and doing more people. And TJ, like I said, man, it's a blessing to be able to see you grow as a young man from being a kid. And I watched you since I've been little, man. And you the best thing smoking. And I always remember, you ever need us, we right here for you, baby. Elove, love you as well, bro. 20 years. I've been knowing you my whole life. You done helped me through some crazy times, man. So you've always been there for me. And like, shouts out to you too. Love you too, bro.
Appreciate that. I love y'all, man. This is phenomenal.
All right. Thank you. Love you guys.
All right, baby. We out of here. Kiki, love you.
Thank you. Come
you
through
great
network.
Show, Key.
Check us out next time here on I'm From the Zoo.
From the zoo, baby.
From the zoo.
Let's go.
Kalamazoo, baby.
TJ, my man. Thank you, Elove.
Yes, sir. You know what time it is. Yes, sir. You know what time it is.